Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Hogwarts Legacy has finally released, and so we're going to take a look at the first hour of gameplay here. This is obviously quite edited, but there will be spoilers, so be aware of that. We have been invited to attend Hogwarts as a fifth-year student, which is quite exciting and rare, as you might imagine. We have a bunch of preset character models we can use, but if you watch my channel, you know that I like to try to put myself into the game if possible. And so I'm going to try to design a character that looks at least a little bit like me, and I do have some success here. He looks a bit like a dollar store Harry Potter, but he does look vaguely like me as a younger man. Not really close, actually, but close enough to continue with this game. So we're going to start our journey with Frankie Strummer, the wizard. And right off the bat, we get a cutscene here. We are going to Hogwarts as a fifth-year student, so we have a professor who is tutoring us to kind of bring us up to speed with the basics.
Thank you, Professor Fig.
And as we are preparing to leave for Hogwarts, another wizard appears who apparently knows Professor Fig. And this guy is going to accompany us on our way to Hogwarts. But as we leave in our flying carriage, we are being observed by a mysterious figure who then vanishes, clearly with the aid of magic. But never mind that for now. We are flying along, and that other wizard has an object that he wants to discuss with Professor Fig.
What's that glow?
Neither of them can figure out how to open it, but Frankie sees a strange glow coming from this object, so they hand this thing to Frankie, and clearly it reacts to him. There is a key inside, but at that moment, they are attacked by a somewhat grumpy dragon. So things are going really well for Frankie so far. That other wizard was apparently killed in the attack, but you can't really be sure because these are wizards after all. Frankie and Professor Fig have appeared in a cave somewhere, and Frankie is a little bit injured, so we're going to use a healing potion. And you can probably already tell that this game has a very polished presentation. It's very smoothly done. Very well done, in my opinion.
What happened?
We walk around a little bit. There's the tutorial starts at this point and tells you how to look around and walk and all that. And they discover that they are near some mysterious ruins, and so they figure that must be their destination. So they start making their way toward that place, and they find this. And now we're going to get our first little bit of not exactly combat, but this is going to show us how to use our basic attack with our wand.
Some of that wand work you were practicing. Focus on the center. Excellent.
Tapping R2 fires off a basic attack, and you can use the right analog stick to switch between your targets. I think this is really well done. Look at the way he moves as he pivots around to fire off these shots. I think that's very cool. But they continue on until they reach a broken bridge, and Professor Fig takes care of the problem.
Reparo!
The HUD seems relatively uncluttered so far. We have a marker on the screen telling us where to go. And we have a basic explanation on the left that we can expand a little bit by holding up on the digital pad. And we're basically just exploring this area, trying to figure out, where we are exactly and who brought us here. Perhaps this statue is the person, represents the person that brought us here. We don't really know. There's an interesting mural over here, but further exploration reveals some more mysterious magic.
What's this? Professor
And
Fig.
Frankie is able to see an image on the other side of this barrier.
How odd. Why would someone have conjured that enchanted stone here?
And how is there a room behind it?
What room? I don't see anything.
There's that glow again, like the glow on the portkey container.
Once again, Frankie is seeing magic that Professor Fig cannot,
Merlin's name.
and when he interacts with it, they are transported into a familiar location from the movies. It is Gringotts, and they find a sleeping goblin at the front desk.
Hello?
It can't be.
The goblin seems to know where they are going.
Just a moment.
If you're not aware, Gringotts is essentially a big magical bank run by goblins, and apparently this key will open their equivalent to a safety deposit box. And so this goblin is an employee of the bank, and he takes them to vault number 12.
Number 12. As we speak.
On the way, they run into a guard who is a little bit more obviously
Momentous day.
annoyed and disturbed by the fact that they are heading toward this particular vault. He sends them on their way, but he's going to go tell somebody about it all.
Be looking for?
I'm not sure. Sir, I wonder if you
The
might...
instructions for Vault 12 indicate that I am to grant access to the holder of the key and then close the door.
Wait.
Professor?
That was certainly unexpected. Let me
The
think.
bank's instructions regarding this vault dictate that these two people are now locked inside,
Revelio?
and so they have to figure out how to get out of there on their own. But fortunately, Frankie is continuing to see magic that the professor can't see for whatever reason. The professor is teaching him the Revelio spell. And so we have this little mini game where you're guiding this symbol along this path, which I guess is sort of mimicking the wand movements in the movies. And so I was sort of afraid that they were going to make me do those wand
A bit closer and
maneuvers
try again.
as I was actually doing the spells, but apparently that is only to learn the spell. And then once you have it equipped, you can just use the buttons on the controller.
I don't suppose you see a
But
way to...
a door has been
That
revealed
symbol has the same glow as the
by
one I saw on the
Frankie's
portkey
magic, and
container.
once again,
If what you can see
Frankie
reveals the way
can
forward,
interact
then
with
I
this
dare say
magic
we are
and
about
get
to
them through the
discover
door.
secret of this vault. Lead the way. Lumos. This is no ordinary vault.
We follow Professor Fig through the darkness until Frankie
I see something up ahead.
sees some more magic on the ground.
That glow again.
And so now we are about to see our first basic puzzle. The game will walk us through this puzzle, so it's not a proper puzzle, but you can see that there will be puzzles in this game. And once we solve this puzzle, we will get our first look at some actual combat.
Lumos! What happened?
When I moved towards the glow, it suddenly seemed as if the ground was swirling about.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir, I'm fine.
You seem to have caused the floor to change.
That statue.
What statue?
I see some sort of statue, but only as a reflection in the floor. Revelio.
I presume this is what you saw reflected in the floor.
It is. The reflection's still there, but the statue's positions don't match. Wait. When you moved, the reflection turned in the direction of the light.
Perhaps you should cast Lumos.
Lumos.
Well done.
Now the reflection is turning towards me. It does follow the light.
Tapping triangle gives you a basic protection spell.
Descendo. Levioso. Deposo. Levioso. Deposo. Confringo. Expulso. Potato. Confringo. Expulso.
The combat feels very fluid, as you can probably see. This is all in performance mode, by the way. I should have mentioned that earlier.
Professor Fig.
But
Professor,
when the
where
fight
are you?
ends, the lights go out and the professor is gone. So Frankie must continue on alone.
Where am I supposed to go? What's happening? The wisps of magic seem to be leading me somewhere. Ah, that's where they're leading me. That glow again. Lumos. Revelio. I suppose I'm on my own this time. Lumos. It seems I have no choice. I'm going to have to fight my way out of here.
holding triangle instead of just tapping it will give you a counterattack that will stun your opponent. This combat is fluid and fun so far, I would say. But we won another battle, and the magical wisps are leading us onward into the darkness. And before too long, Frankie will find another bit of magic on the ground next to some sort of a statue. Interacting with the magic creates some sort of a portal, which of course Frankie will investigate. I mean, there's really nothing else to do except to pass through this mysterious portal, and on the other side Frankie discovers a strange object hovering in the air over a fountain of some sort, or a bird bath. It looks like a bird bath anyway, but if you have watched the movies or read the books, you probably know what this is. This object contains memories, and this bird bath looking thing is a method to view those memories. I think it's called a pensive or a pensieve, something like that. But this particular memory reveals this very room being created by a couple of wizards, and they talk about how the key is being hidden. And so yeah, we don't really know still what the purpose is of all this, but apparently there is some strange plot happening that Frankie and Professor Fig are unaware of.
Someone's coming.
And speaking of that, the goblins arrive at this point because that guard went to go tell the big bad guy about it. This guy is a rebellious goblin who's been in the newspapers lately, and he is a nasty piece of work. He is quite obviously annoyed with the banking employee who allowed these people into the vault. Clearly he considers this vault to be his, and he's a little bit angry that they somehow got the key.
Not giving you anything.
Well, perhaps your young friend here will be more helpful.
The goblin threatens them, which makes Professor Fig attack, and then when the goblin returns that attack, it provokes some sort of a defensive response in the room and creates this large magical golem type creature, I guess, who then attacks the goblins. And during the confusion, Frankie and Professor Fig teleport away to safety, and amazingly they have teleported very near to Hogwarts. And so we get our first view of the castle. All of this, I think, is really well done, beautifully done. The music is nice, the visuals are nice. I'm really, really enjoying this so far. But there it is, Hogwarts. I think this is about 100 years or so before all of the events of Harry Potter, so this is back in time. And Frankie and the professor are arriving right at the end of the sorting ceremony.
I ask that you keep all that's happened this
So the
evening
professor
between you
cautions Frankie to not tell anybody about all this, at least for now, until he investigates further. And then they get the attention of the headmaster, and this is an ancestor of Sirius Black from the movies and the books, of course. He looks a little bit like Sirius Black, but the voice is Simon Pegg.
Phineas,
And this character is the headmaster. I don't think he's a bad guy exactly, but he's sort of an officious,
to meet.
pompous guy who is in it just because it's a prestigious position to be in, and he clearly likes to boss to boss people around.
Ceremonies over. There were complications.
Complications?
It seems the goblin problem has...
Enough. Goblins. I've no time for rumors, Fig, and I'm rapidly losing whatever patience I had left. If you're lucky, we might still be able to get you sorted this evening.
So now we get to put on the sorting hat, which of course is an amazing moment for a nerd such as myself. I wouldn't call myself a Harry Potter super fan. I don't know everything, every bit of trivia, but I have read the books, I have seen the movies, I've taken enough online tests to know that I am officially Ravenclaw. So I was curious to see what the sorting hat would do here. It sounds like the same voice from the movies, but I'm not positive.
I'm looking forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds.
Indeed. Much can be gleaned by having an adventurous spirit, but your professors have a great deal to teach you as well. I wonder... I detect something in you. A certain sense of... what is it?
A desire to learn? I do enjoy a good puzzle, and I believe I have a ready mind.
You're clever indeed. You have the ability to reflect clearly on that which puzzles others. And you've a ready mind, quick to learn. Perhaps you belong in Ravenclaw.
So the hat did suggest Ravenclaw for me, but if I want to, I could choose a different house.
You belong in Ravenclaw!
So Frankie is in Ravenclaw. All is right with the world. And this lady here with the hat is actually an ancestor of the Weasleys. And I think she is the deputy headmaster. I think she is basically filling the role that McGonagall did in the books and the movies.
I am, Professor.
But she escorts Frankie to the Ravenclaw house, and he has to solve a riddle before going through the door. But we don't actually have to do this. This is just a cutscene.
Who lived longer? The ghost or the poltergeist?
A ghost or a poltergeist? A non-being can never have been.
Well done. Now, go on in and get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. I shall be back in the morning to collect you for your first class.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoy your first night at Hogwarts. Sleep well.
So Frankie gets some sleep, and the next morning we are treated to another nice view of Hogwarts as Frankie awakens in his Ravenclaw room. And now we're finally going to get to a bit of exploration. We'll get to walk around a bit and look at things. First, they want us to head toward the common room. We've got some knights in armor. I'm not sure if there are actual people in there or if they're just animated suits of armor.
I suppose.
But we're supposed to meet several of our Ravenclaw classmates.
One moment. Watch this.
Ugh! What is this? Someone threw a dung bomb.
Why, hello. Would you like to take a look?
I want him to be in the perfect place. A place he'll be happy with.
So we have these 3 conversations, and then after this last one, we are told that Professor Weasley wants to speak with us outside the common room.
Hey there, new Ravenclaw.
You can see there are various objects in the environment to interact with
Keep her waiting.
as you explore. But when we go to meet Professor Weasley, she is going to give us an important item. A field guide that the professors have come up with in order to aid Frankie. He is entering the school for the first time as a 5th-year student, so he has a lot of catch-up learning to do. And this was their idea to help him do it. Professor Weasley is going to walk him through some of the basic functions of the guide. You can explore and use the Revelio spell to find these field guide pages. They are collectibles. I think there are other collectibles as well. And of course, all the collectible stuff will be found inside the guide. Challenges will be found inside the guide. You can open the field guide with the options button, and you get access to all of these menus. Some of them have gold exclamation points on them. I guess that means that they are a priority. But yeah, we have various collectibles, various challenges. The quests will be found inside the guide. You can look at the map inside the guide. It's the sort of stuff you would expect to find in the main menu of a game like this. You may notice that the paintings and the statues are moving, as they should within Hogwarts.
Good timing.
But now Professor Weasley wants us to learn about flue flames. This is going to be our fast travel method. So we're going to get a look at the map here. You can look at the map through the field guide, but you can also go directly to it by pressing the touchpad. Hogwarts is divided up into 2 main areas. The white flags are locations, I think. Our main objective is on the map. But right now they want us to look at a particular point on the map, the library annex. So we're going to click on that. And that will give us a closer view. We can rotate the map with the right stick. And then they want us to select the central hall. And so now we're going to transport there with Professor Weasley. And that's going to do it for the gameplay in this first hour. And my first impressions of this game in this first hour are very positive. I like to explore, so giving me a big world that I'm interested in to explore is always a good thing for me. And yeah, I think this is really well done. You can see some textures popping in here and there sometimes, and there's some jankiness to animations here and there sometimes, but overall I think this is really polished and well done, and a great representation of the Harry Potter world in the past. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I'll probably make more videos soon, but for now, as always, thanks for watching.